What's up, everybody? Welcome back. As you know, I am reading The Power of One More by Ed Mylett. I read chapter 1, and we have a lot to get to. All right. So he starts off the chapter with a quote by Andy Warhol. The quote is, "They always say time changes things, but you actually have to change them for yourself." Simply put, what he's saying is, if you want stuff to change in your life, whether it's financial, physical, health and wellness, spiritual, your family, whatever it is, time isn't going to change that, right? If you wake up tomorrow, it's not going to change, right? You have to take the actions to change it, right? You have to do the things that you need to do to change the things in your life that you want to change. Time is not going to change it. Very, very simple concept. And that's a super powerful quote by Andy Warhol, and it makes the world of sense. So in the book, chapter 1, reshaping your identity is the most fundamental concept. That is where he starts the book. Reshaping your identity, right? Your identity is shaped early in childhood. So when you're born, up until your early adult years, you know what you know. You know what you're told. Your religion is the religion you're told it is. You are told what's right or wrong. You are told all this stuff as a child. So as you get into adulthood, your identity is kind of already shaped. But when we get into adulthood, we now have the opportunity to change our identities into what we want it to be, right? He talks about adjusting your identity thermostat. And when I read that, I was like, what does this mean? And if you read the book, he goes over a ton of stuff. But I just want to paraphrase it and go over what I got from it. And what he's saying is, your identity thermostat is what you believe you deserve deep down inside in all aspects of life. So whether it's fitness, like I said, fitness, spiritual, your finances, your family, whatever it is that you think you deserve, that's your thermostat. So if your thermostat is set high, always, right, you will succeed. You will get the things that you want to get because you will give it your all to get it, right? You will do the one more set. You will do the one more rep. You will do the one more phone call. You will do whatever it is that you need to do to get what it is that you need, right? It should always be set high because you deserve the very best, right? If your thermostat isn't set high, when bad things happen, you will look at them as coincidences or karma or bad luck, right? The truth is, in all those situations where things were going off or you weren't getting the results you wanted to get or things were just happening to you, your thermostat wasn't set high enough. Now, things are going to happen in our lives. I get that. But we need to always have our thermostat, our identity thermostat set high. And when we start to see things going awry, we need to do what we need to do to make sure that we get the best result possible in all situations of our life, right? We need to reshape our identity as we get older, right? Because if your identity stays from when you were 5, and then when you were 10 and you were 15, you've heard the saying, at some point you need to grow up, right? You need to become an adult and start making your own decisions, start doing things differently, changing your mindset, and looking at your life currently and see what it is you can do to change the things in your life you need to change. Because if you don't change, if things don't change, they're because you're not changing. They're not changing because you're not changing, right? For things to change in your life, you have to change. Because if you don't change, the things in your life won't change, right? Back to the Andy Warhol quote, right? You need to make the changes. Time doesn't change it. Luck doesn't change it. Like, happenstance doesn't change it. If you want to change the way you look, you work out more. you eat better, right? If your job isn't paying you enough and you don't feel like you're getting paid your worth, maybe find a better career, or you find an opportunity outside of work, a business opportunity somewhere that could make you more money. It's not settling for what is going on in your life and not being okay with, the ordinary, with the, very bland kind of whatever's going on. And if you feel like your life is bland or things are not where you want them to be, it's because you need to change. It's because you need to grow and you need to change your identity. He then goes on to talk about the trilogy of changing your identity. So the three things he talks about that are vital to changing your identity. Faith, which I love because I'm a firm believer of faith. Intentions and associations. So faith, having the faith of the size of a mustard seed, right? You've heard that before. If you haven't, now you have, right? Having faith that if you put in the work, if you do what you need to do, if you understand where your end goal is and what you want to do in life, or what your very next goal is, not necessarily like 10 years down the line, but what your next goal is, having faith that if you do what you need to do, that you will achieve what it is you want to achieve. Identity, or intentions, intentions was the second one, right? There's a quote by Anthony Douglas Williams that he puts in the book. When our actions are based on good intentions, our soul has no regrets, right? So our actions have to be based with good intentions. We have to have good intentions in life in all that we do. Your intentions can set your mind to work, creating a new identity, right? Your intentions can set your mind to work, creating a new identity. Just means the things that you think about in your mind, what you're telling yourself you need to do, right? Your intentions, if your intentions are good, then good will happen, right? Very simple for the most part, but it's just a matter of the things that you think about will eventually come to fruition in life. And if they're good and you put them into action, then you will get what you are striving to get, right? Self-confidence, he talks about. Self-confidence is the unifying factor, right? Identity is what you believe you're worth. Self-confidence is the means to deliver on it, right? So self-confidence, again, is the underlining factor in your identity. Identity is what you believe you're worth. I'll repeat this. Self-confidence is the means to deliver on it. He talks about self-sabotage as well, which is another thing we need to avoid. Self-sabotage triggers discouragement and doubt. It's the mortal enemy of self-confidence. It dials down your thermostat that we talked about earlier, right? So self-sabotage will dial down your thermostat and allow the bad stuff to happen. The misconception of self-confidence and identity. The misconceptions of self-confidence and identity are, he talks about this, I am what I possess. You are not your stuff. Talks about it's great to have things, but your identity is not in what you possess. It's not in your accomplishments, which is the second one. And then he says, I am what others say I am, which is not true, right? And what I look like means everything, which is also not true. Now, it's good to look good and dress nice and do all that stuff, but your identity is not found in what you possess, your accomplishments, who people say you are, and what you look like. Your identity is in the things that you do, your actions, your goals, your successes, and in being a good person and doing good things. Your identity is important. And if it's something you struggle with, and if it's something that you think you need to change and you need to, just be better, like I talked about in my last video, being better every day, we need to make changes in our lives if we're struggling. If there's things that we need to change mentally, physically, spiritually, our identity can change if we allow it to change. Will you be the same person you were 10 years ago? Or are you the same person you were 10 years ago? And do you want to be somebody different 10 years from now? You have to make the decision. You have to make the change. Time's not going to change it. Happenstance is not going to change it. Luck is not going to change it. Nothing will change who you are and your identity. Only you can. So having the goals, having the aspirations and things that you want to do, turn up your thermostat to as high as it can be. You deserve the very best. Go out and make the changes in life that you need to make. So, told you, a lot to uncover, a lot to cover in this first chapter. It was a great read. I look forward to the next chapter and again coming on here and talking about that as well. Hope you got something out of this. Feel free to comment below. I'd love to read what you got from this, and again, would love to interact with you on this topic. So, chapter 1 in the books. I look forward to chapter 2. I look forward to going on that journey with you, continuing to go on that journey with you through this book. And again, hope you got something out of this. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you all soon.